Good morning everyone, myself Sanjeev Kumar. Today in this lecture we are going to discuss about DC motor torque and its derivation. So in DC generators the output power is always electrical, so we will get direct output power in terms of kilowatts, but here it is a DC motor, electrical power is input to it and the output power is always mechanical. But how we are going to measure the mechanical output power, the equivalent quantity to the electrical? So that will be the torque parameter. So if you put some mechanical load on DC motor shaft, so how much output power equivalent to electrical it can drive, so that mechanical power we measure in terms of torque. Now this torque, what is meant by torque? So torque is nothing but any object. So any object, suppose the object is here and from the fixed distance r, if it is rotating, so otherwise it is rotating, so the moment or moment of force you applied on this conductor, so it can rotate with a fixed axis, then it is called as the torque. So it is nothing but the moment or moment of force applied on a object so that it can rotate with a fixed axis is called as the torque, or the turning and twisting movement of the shaft. In our machine's case, the object is shaft, so turning and twisting movement of the shaft is called as torque. So why turning and twisting takes place? So if you take your shaft, so this is armature and this is the shaft. So from this point, now this is the radius and these are the conductors placed here. Now you are applying the force on this, so it starts rotating with respect to the fixed axis r. So the distance is r, it is moving, and since it is an angular rotation, so it is rotating with respect to the distance circumference of this DC motor shaft. Okay, so what is meant by torque? Torque is nothing but turning twisting movement of shaft is called as torque. Okay, so the turning and twisting. So why turning and twisting takes place? You have to rotate the armature or shaft with respect to the fixed axis. Suppose this is your shaft, so you have to rotate with the fixed axis with the distance r. Now you have to rotate this total conductors or armature or shaft with respect to this fixed axis, so you require some force on it and some distance. What is the distance? R is the distance from the center point, so with r distance you have to rotate this, so there should be a work done to move the armature or shaft with respect to the fixed axis. So the movement or force required to move this, we can call it as a torque. The torque of a DC motor also derived from the electrical parameters. So let us see how your torque is going to in terms of electrical parameters like flux, armature current, poles and parallel paths. Okay, so let us see. Now let Tg is the gross torque in Newton meters. Next, R is the radius of shaft. Okay, next, N is the speed of DC motor, and N by 60 is the speed in RPS. Okay, and the work done per revolution. So it is nothing but work done per revolution is nothing but for n revolutions, what is the work done? Now you can see here what this conductor is rotating with a speed of n, and you are applying a force with respect to the radius r. Now there is some work done on this conductor or object to move within the fixed axis. Okay. Now what is the work done? Work done per revolution to move shaft is equal to force into radius. Okay, so what is the work done? It is nothing but force into radius, which is equal to your torque parameter. Okay, now this r must be the distance. Okay, where r is the distance moved. Okay, but the distance moved may not be equal to r, so distance moved given by the distance moved is equal to 2 pi r. Since it is a circular one, so you have to replace this r by f into 2 pi r. Now what is this? This is work done per revolution. Okay, so revolution is n, number of revolutions is n, but I want to calculate in terms of seconds. Okay, now work done per second is given by, so work done per second is nothing but force into 2 pi r into n by 60. So why n is the speed in rpm, so n by 60 is the speed in rps. That means in one revolution, in 1 second, what is the work done is going to take place. So that is given by f into 2 pi r into n by 60. Now work done per second is equal to, I am separating f and r terms, so f and r into 2 pi n by 60. Now what is this f and r? F and r is nothing but, this is the torque parameter we already discussed. So this will be equal to torque multiplied by this 2 pi n, we can call it as a omega. So what is this omega? Omega is nothing but angular speed 2 pi n by 60. So in linear, if you take the speed, that is n, rps n by 60, but 2 pi n is nothing but angular rotation. So this angular motion is nothing but turning and twisting movement. So the torque into omega, we can call it as a work done per second. Now what is work done in electrical machines or electrical parameters? So work done is nothing but the output power of your armature, which is equivalent to mechanical power. So that is given by the output power developed in armature is equal to gross torque into 2 pi n by 60. Now this is the equation we have to remember to equate with respect to the output power of armature generated in armature, so which is equal to the electrical output. You are giving electrical output, so what is the actual power developed in armature equivalent to mechanical. So let us calculate what is the actual power developed in generator equivalent to mechanical energy. So I am going to take off this. Now what is the output power developed in armature equivalent to mechanical? So output power developed in armature equivalent to mechanical, which is given by 2 pi n into Tg by 60. So I am giving this is equation number 1. Now go for DC motor voltage equation. So what is a voltage equation? We have voltage equation of DC motor. So what is that? V is equal to EB plus IA into RA. So I am neglecting the brush contact draw and I am simply considering a simple shunt motor. Let us say general equation of voltage equation of DC motor. Now V is equal to EB plus IA into RA. So this is the input and input supply, and this is the actual generated voltage, and this is the drop. Now multiplying both sides by IA. So multiplying both sides by IA, we will get V into IA is equal to EB into IA plus IA square into RA. Now if you see carefully, observe this term, so we can observe this. So V into IA is the input and EB into IA is the actual power developed in armature, and these are the losses. We often see I square or nothing but copper losses, so that we can written as input to armature is equal to power developed in armature plus copper losses in armature. Okay, now this is the input and this is the output power of armature equivalent to mechanical power developed, and these are the losses. Now if you observe this second term, EB into IA is the power developed equivalent to mechanical power. So this power can drive the mechanical loads, so that there is some losses. So this power developed will be the equivalent to mechanical. Now I am considering EB into IA is the power in armature. So this is equation number 2. Now equation number 1 is output power developed in armature, and this is also power developed in armature. Now if we equate equation 1 and 2, we will get the torque parameter in terms of electrical parameters. Now we will see equating equation 1 and 2. So what is the equation number 1? 2 pi n Tg by 60, which is nothing but work done in 1 second, so which is equal to power developed in armature. 2 pi n Tg by 60 equal to EB into IA. Now what is EB? EB is nothing but back EMF, the generated EMF in motor, so equivalent to generated EMF in generator. So we know what is the back EMF formula. So we have EB is equal to pi Z N P by 60 into A. So substituting EB, now 2 pi n Tg by 60 equal to pi Z N P by 60A into IA. So EB into IA. Now I am substituting EB formula and multiplying with the IA. Now you can see here both sides 60 is the denominator and speed is a common term, so that I am going to take out n by 60 and n by 60, which is RPS. Now the unknown parameter required quantity is Tg, so I am keeping Tg on the left hand side, so moving all the quantities into right hand side. So Tg equal to 1 by 2 pi into pi Z P into IA by A. Now you can see here 1 by 2 pi is nothing but 0.159 into pi into IA into Z P by A. Now I am keeping the Zp by A in brackets since this is the constant term. Now Tg equal to 0.159 into pi into Ia into Zp by A. So Zp by A is a constant term. I am keeping in brackets so that you can written as Tg is equal to 0.159 into pi A into Zp by A, since Tg is also written as proportional to pi into Ia, so easily T is proportional to pi into Ia. Now you can see here torque is directly proportional to flux and armature current. Since if you keep the flux constant and increase the armature current, torque is also increases, and if you keep the armature current constant and flux decreases, torque is also decreases. So this torque depends upon flux and armature current. Now this is the formula for torque of a DC machine. So we can go for 1 by 2 pi Z P Ia pi by A, otherwise Tg equal to 0.159 into pi into Ia into Zp by A. So this is a very important formula while calculating the numerical problems on DC motors. Now there are two torques in armature. One is gross torque and another one is shaft torque. So shaft torque will give what is the actual output torque at the shaft, and the gross torque is nothing but the armature torque. We can also call it as a armature torque, and shaft torque is the output power. So this is related to output power and this is related to armature power developed equivalent to mechanical power developed. So we can given as gross torque Tg is equal to, just now we derived 0.159 pi into Ia into Zp by A. Now before this we also derived 2 pi n Tg, 2 pi n by 60 Tg is equal to Eb into Ia. Now what is Tg? Tg is equal to Eb into Ia divided by 2 pi n by 60. Okay. Now what is EBIA? EBIA is the armature power developed equivalent to mechanical power. So Tg is nothing but armature power developed equivalent to mechanical power divided by 2 pi n by 60, and 2 pi n by 60 can also written as omega is nothing but angular speed. So Tg is equal to Eb into Ia by omega, so that Eb into Ia is equal to Tg into omega, nothing but armature power is equal to Tg into omega. Now this is the one equation you have to remember while calculating the gross torque. Now we will go for the shaft torque. So what is shaft torque? Shaft torque is the actual output power where you are driving the mechanical load. Why? This torque is related to armature, gross torque. So from this you deduct the some losses, we will get the actual shaft torque. So shaft torque is nothing but the actual torque which drives the mechanical load. Okay, so that's why it is related to actual output power of DC motor. So that's why output power output power is equal to, that means what is the actual output power at the end of this power stage. Output power is equal to, so shaft torque multiplied by angular speed. Okay, now simply we can written as output power is equal to shaft torque into omega. Then what is the output power, actual output power? So output power is nothing but you can calculate from this losses and V, what is the EBIA parameter, and the losses are going to be added. So the total output power term we cannot directly write here, so that's why I am giving. So TSH is equal to output power divided by omega, nothing but TSH is equal to output power divided by 2 pi n by 60. Now this is the shaft torque. You can see here shaft torque is nothing but output power by 2 pi n by 60, and here the gross torque is EB into IA by 2 pi n by 60. So that is a major difference between shaft torque and gross torque. So loss torque is equal to gross torque minus shaft torque. So the losses in the torque is given by gross torque minus shaft torque. Why? Shaft torque is less than gross torque, so gross torque is higher, so you deduct the shaft torque from here, you will get the torque losses. So torque losses is equal to gross torque minus shaft torque, we will get the torque losses. Now anyhow it is a electrical input, we will deduct the mechanical losses and iron loss, mechanical losses here, so you will get the actual shaft torque. Now this is the relation between shaft torque, gross torque, and this formula you have to remember. It is EBIA by 2 pi n by 60, and this is output power by 2 pi n by 60. Now we will discuss about power stages in DC motor. So the DC motor input power is electrical and output power is mechanical. So we will start from the first stage. The first stage is electrical input. So it is going to be VI. Okay. Now from this stage it is entering into the second stage, so where there is a losses, so you can call it as a copper losses, and it is denoted by A. Now this is I square or A losses. Again, if you go for the third stage, now what is the third stage? It is the armature power developed, that is nothing but EBIA. So this is the actual power generated in armature before going to shaft. So from this again there is a reduction in losses. Okay, now here I am writing that losses. So it is nothing but iron and mechanical losses. Okay, now again the losses, this will be the mechanical output power. Now this is B and this is the C. Now we are having the A, B, C, three stages. The first stage is electrical input to motor. We are giving to the commutator segments, so the brushes and field winding is excited, and here it is a doubly excited. And after the reduction of copper losses, why electrical power is input you are giving, so due to the ohmic losses there is a reduction in the power. Now VI is reduced into EBA. Now EBA is the actual power developed in armature equivalent to mechanical driving load power. So From this power, if you deduct the iron and mechanical losses, so why we are getting iron and mechanical losses here? So this is the extension shaft. So shaft is extended here. So due to wear and tear, due to friction, and iron and mechanical losses are considered here. So if you deduct the iron and mechanical losses from EBIA, you will get the actual mechanical output power. That is going to be the third stage. Now, from these three stages, what we can observe here, so there is two types of losses. Okay, major three types. So iron and mechanical we will call it as stray losses. So copper losses and iron and mechanical losses. So if you deduct these two losses, we will get the actual output power of this machine. Now we can also calculate what is the electrical, mechanical and commercial efficiencies of these machines by calculating one by one stage. Now we will calculate the efficiency. So overall efficiency is nothing but output power by input power, but we are having the three stages, so one by one we will calculate the efficiency. Now you consider this first two stages, this will be the electrical efficiency. Why? The input power is electrical and you are generating the equivalent mechanical electrical power. So electrical efficiency E is equal to stage B by stage A. Now what is stage B? Armature power developed, nothing but EBIA by VI. Okay, so whatever the magnitude you can calculate, the electrical efficiency is second stage B by first stage. Okay, now the second one is mechanical efficiency. So efficiency mechanical is nothing but, you can see here we are having the second stage and this is the third stage. Now from the second stage, if you deduct these losses, you will get the actual mechanical output. Now the mechanical efficiency is output power by armature power developed. Now you can see here C is nothing but mechanical output divided by armature power developed, nothing but power developed in armature. Now electrical and mechanical, so what will be the overall efficiency? So overall efficiency is nothing but overall efficiency equal to electrical multiplied by mechanical. Now what is electrical? B by A, and mechanical is C by V. Now BV we will get C by A. Now what is C by A? C is nothing but mechanical power output divided by electrical input. So the efficiency of motor is always calculated mechanical output power divided by, so output power divided by electrical input. Now again for this we calculate the efficiency by using these parameters, but while calculating the efficiency, the mechanical output power we have to calculate from the input side. Since the electrical quantities are the known quantities, so we can coming from the input side. So if you remember generators, the output power is electrical. So we will calculate the efficiency from output side. So if you see the efficiency formula for generator, so you will see. Now this is the overall efficiency and these are the power stages. Okay, now if you see the efficiency formula in terms of losses, we can observe here. Okay, first I am talking about generators. In generators, efficiency is equal to output power divided by input power. So this is a general formula, but output power is electrical. Okay, so we can written as output power divided by output power plus losses. So this will be for generators. Now what is in the case of motors? So for motors are also, so efficiency of motor is nothing but output power divided by input power. But now input power is electrical quantity and known quantity. So we write output power in terms of input power. So that is given by, for motors, so M stands for motors here, input power minus losses divided by input power. Now this will be the formula for motors in terms of losses. Now in this way we can calculate the motor efficiency directly. The output power until the speed, angular speed or RPS speed is given, then only we can calculate. Otherwise input power, input voltage or input current is given, load current, so we can calculate very easily the motor efficiency. That's why it is better to follow the input power minus losses by output power. So we can also write motors 1 minus losses by input power. So this is also we can utilize very easily. Once you know the losses and input power, you can calculate the efficiency of motor. Then it will be very easy. In terms of generators, we have to compulsory coming from the output term. Now for motors, it should be from the input side. So this is the formula related to motor. The calculation becomes very easy, and the number of losses, whatever the mechanical iron losses, so that will be given in numerical problems. But copper losses we have to calculate from the shunt series and armature windings. So we will discuss about the types of losses in DC motors.